Habari yenu nyinyi. So after the 3 videos I released on further logarithms, and it explained several things, several laws, and the most important things that you need kufanya questions in that topic. But obviously kuna some few things zenye unaweza pata kwa questions which just need an extra explanation, and that's why I'm making this video. So I'm making this video to show some few questions that if you want to solve, maybe I'll try explain again, uongeze kwa zile other concepts ulikuwa nazo, then with that I think you should be ready to work out questions in this topic. So for the first example I'm going to use for today is there's a question here. It reads solve for x and it is 2. You can see the question. So what I want you to notice about the question is these logs here, the whole logs thing is bracketed. So that's a special kind of question. So when you have such kind of a question, you will notice that there is this value here will be the same as this value here, or there will be something common about the two values. So I have log x base 2, I have log x base 2. So in such a case, when you have this, you will obviously say let log x base 2 be y, so that in this statement any place you see log x unaweka y. So that said, niki replace these values, I'll have 2, which is this, alafu in y, alafu it is squared, you see this bracket squared, then minus 7y, then plus these 3. I want to explain it. How I got the 3, kuna this value here, they said log 8 base 2. But again, in the laws that we learned, tulifanya law to do with the log of the base. So this 8 can be written in terms of 2 to get log 2 cubed base 2. So the 3 becomes the coefficient. Ukikumbuka all that, it will be 3 log 2 base 2. Then the final answer is 3, and that's how you get this 3 that I wrote here. So now once you do this, uko na a quadratic equation. To solve a quadratic equation, you will require to use any method you have. Normally quadratic formula inakuanga rahisi, so we use the quadratic formula in this case. So quadratic formula, I replace these values. You know how to use the quadratic formula. You'll solve to get the value of y. So in this case, the value of y is either 3 or a half. Ukishapata the 3 or a half value, you are not asked to get the value of y. We mwenyewe ndio ulijiletea these values of y. So you go back to that statement of let. Ulikuwa na log x base 2 equals to y. So you'll say let log x base 2 equals to y. Then the value of y is 3. Replace 3 with this. The first thing I taught in the first lesson, ukiangalia vizuri, I explained you should learn how to change logs to indices, indices to logs. So to get the value of x in this case, unasema 2 raised to 3 equals to x, na ndio hii. Then the value of x equals to 8. There is still a half. Use a half to do the same. If you want to get the value of x in terms of half, it will be log x base 2 equals to a half. Then again the same thing, 2 raised to a half equals to x. Now if you solve that, it's like getting the square root of 2, and the answer is 1.4142. So then in this case, the two values of x will be 8 or 1.4142. So the special thing about this question was maybe he part utachunga hiyo. If you come across questions where everything in this logs part is bracketed, the whole thing, then it means it will involve this. Now uone tu vizuri, it has these two features, this value and this value should be the same. Then another thing I've explained about it is this part here. It was, yes, all these logs seem to be of the base 2, but now this value here can be simplified on its own. I simplified to get the value of 3, then I came up with the quadratic equation, which then I solved. The next example, number 2, I said these are just extra questions zenye unaweza pata in one way or another when you're working out questions, then they might not relate to what I had explained previously. So you knowing this is an important thing. So next is number 2. They said, without using tables or a calculator, solve the value of this. This is an expression. And to solve this expression without using a calculator means these values have to be simplified in accordance to the rules zenye tusha explain already. So now let's first of all focus on this number here. Of course, in the working I simplified both sides yote mbili. You can see that until the end, but let me just focus on this first, then try to understand that first. So here I have 3 log 2.5 base 0.4. Now when you write these values as fractions, they'll give you 2.5 is the same as 5 over 2. Alafu 0.4 is the same as 2.25 2 over 5. Now ukiangalia this number vizuri, you notice 5 over 2 2 over 5. Any question asked inakuanga something special in it that will just come out clearly. As you keep working out, it just comes out clearly. So there is I can see 5 over 2 alafu 2 over 5. So because of this inamaanisha, I'll think of how can I make this and this to be the same, so that nirudishe ile logarithm of base. In indices tuliambua, if you have a value like a over b, then raised to like x negative, this can be written as b over a, then brackets raised to positive x, so that the fraction reciprocates, then the sign of the power changes. So this is 5 over 2. 5 over 2 raised to 1 can be written as 2 over 5 raised to negative 1. So in so doing, ona tu vizuri hapa nimeandika it was this, but now I've changed this statement here into 2 over 5 raised to negative 1, so that this and this should be the same, to bring in that logarithm of base thing. So now this power, I'll take it back to be a coefficient. So it's coefficient in this case, which is negative 3. Then log 2 over 5 base 2 over 5. So 2 over 5 becomes 1, and that's why it's negative 3. Now let me focus on this other part. Listen again. There is a log 5 base 25. My last law in the explanations, if you watched the last video, the part 3.1, kama umeona na kama uzaona, you should look for it and see. Then you'll notice that in that part I said that if you have a log base, this can be written as log this over log this, and that's why I've written log 5 over log 25. But ukishaandika hivi, then this 25 can be written as 5 squared. Now 5 squared is the same as 2 log 5. So you'll have log 5 over log 5 over 2 log 5, sorry. So in this case, we know this value and this one will cancel to give you 1 over 2, which is this half. So after simplifying this on its own, and also simplifying this value here on its own, eventually you have these two answers, which when added together will leave you with the final answer, which is a negative 2.5. To know that you're correct, ukijaribu kufanya this thing here on a calculator, it should give you this value, negative 2.5. It is that simple. So this is what we'll be doing. There is so much I need to explain. Maybe nitakuwa na explain vitu I post on this page relating to sometimes things I've explained in videos, sometimes just questions that you as a student need to know. So what I want you to do is try subscribe to that page, alafu hiyo bell uweke, so that if there is any post yenye ni mpya, utapata notification, then you can come and check. It might be something that can help you. And if there is any questions people feel that we should do together in the comments or somewhere, you can write. Then for those that will have something that is common to be done, we can look at that. Another thing, if you have your friends, tell them to come to this page Tusome Pamoja. They can subscribe, and anytime you watch my video, kumbuka to like. For example, this first part of logs nimeweka upload. If I get, say how many likes, if I get 40 likes on this video here, then I'm going to upload the second one.